button. All right, we are recording over here at BlogTV, and we are live over at BlogTalkRado. Good to see you all today. Let me move this air out of my way. Okay, I got a news story I'm going to start covering real quick. Now, I hadn't said much about this, but I guess you all are aware of the brutal attack that took place in Miami. You know, the homeless man being attacked by the lunatic Rudy Eugene. Walked over naked alongside the MacArthur Causeway before pouncing on the homeless guy he found dozing in the shade of an elevated Metro Mover train tracks. Now, for about almost 18 minutes, Eugene savaged his victim, punching him and stripping the man's pants before gnawing the homeless man's face off. I'm not finding any satisfaction in having to bring this today, but I feel like it needs to be brought to bring out a few points. Okay. Now, there's new details of the attack, and they were captured by video footage taken by a security camera at the Miami Herald building. Now, you know, you can go watch it. You can go watch it if you wish. It's a long distance. Appears to be a pretty long distance away, but the article goes on and talks about that at least 5 passerbys, including a road ranger from the Florida Department of Transportation, called police to report what they saw of the scene. Okay, and yeah, there is video over there on the news article. It's MiamiHerald.com. New video shows more grisly detail. It's now, why did that stupid thing do what it's doing? See, there's something wrong with Blog Talk. There is something wrong with it. I don't know what is going on with Blog Talk. I'm getting sick of it. But anyway, back to the article. Okay? It goes on and it talks about that at least 5 passersby, including a road ranger from the Florida Department of Transportation, they called police to report what they saw at the scene. 3 bicyclists pedaled by the 2 bloody men in the minutes before the arrival of Miami police officer Jose Rivera, who shot and killed Eugene to end the attack. The new footage shows the shooting itself was obstructed in the video. The officer appeared to shoot Eugene within a minute of arriving. But you got to go back and remember that there was 18 minutes of gruesome, all-out, demon-possessed, animalistic qualities that were being expressed by this guy, Eugene. Now, on Tuesday, police identified the victim as Ronald Papa, 65-year-old homeless man who lived on Miami streets for more than 3 decades, and with his nose, his mouth, and his eyes torn off, remained in critical condition at Jackson Memorial Hospital on Tuesday. Now, that being said, the new video and information from police suggests that Eugene stumbled upon the homeless guy by happenstance. Now, the footage shows Eugene walking naked on the sidewalk along the Biscayne Boulevard off-ramp of the Causeway at around 1:55 p.m. Saturday when he paused on a shady spot under the Metro Mover loop line. Now, let me say this. I got to tell you something, people. These situations are getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, and as I read this, I'm not reading this for views. I'm not reading it for notoriety. I'm reading it because it does show that the state of the mindset of people of whom you wouldn't think would have the capability to become this animalistic. But I got to tell you, this guy took these drugs, and the drugs had a reaction in his brain and everything, and the drugs he'd been taking opened the door for total demonic possession. Okay, it opened the door for it. I mean, you're not going to hear that, or you're not going to read that anywhere else. But anyway, the guy was totally demon-possessed. Now, it goes on, it says, Eugene, we're talking about the animalistic demon-possessed attacker, appeared to twirl as a bicyclist zoomed by for about 2 minutes. Eugene bent over a second figure in the shade, though the images are obscured by a rusty palm frond. Eugene then rolled Popo out onto the sunny sidewalk, stripping off his clothes, while Popo appeared to kick in resistance. Listen to this now. Listen to this. And Eugene, we're talking about the animalistic demon, the demonistic animalistic zombie, if you would bear with me on that one, appeared to straddle the homeless guy and hunch over him for several minutes. Is this not animalistic behavior? It's like a wild animal. It's like a wild animal. He straddles the homeless guy and hunches over him for several minutes. Meanwhile, 2 more cyclists pass by. Listen to this. Meanwhile, 2 more cyclists pass by. One motorist in a white car slowed down while descending on the off-ramp, but for many motorists, the scene was obscured by the waist-high concrete safety wall along the highway. According to the Miami police, listen to this now. According to the Miami police, the first call of a disturbance came from a passing motorist who reported seeing Eugene stripping off his clothes and acting erratically. That call was routed to the Florida Highway Patrol. It is unclear why. You see? You see what I'm saying? And then transferred to the Miami police. Police have not disclosed, listen to this, police have not disclosed. I was looking over here and seeing what he's saying. Okay, he's not drawing lines here. This guy's not drawing lines. Humans are animals, but the zombie was nuts and a devout Christian. Oh, really? The zombie was nuts and a devout Christian. Okie dokie. There. Okay. I'm not even going to answer that one because there's no such thing as a devout Christian that goes nuts, because they have the protection, the covering of Almighty Creator, and they're covered in the blood of Yeshua, and they are restrained by the power of the Messiah, lest they walk away from it. So he's not a devout Christian. So there we go there. But anyway, it says, according to Miami police, they have not disclosed the time of the first call. A road ranger called to the scene also called 911 and used a loudspeaker to call for the naked attacker to cease. As the attacker dragged on, 2 other motorists called police, as did another cyclist. How about that now? Larry Vega, who later told reporters that Eugene just stood his head up like that with pieces of flesh in his mouth and growled. Now, how about that? Stood up with flesh in his mouth and growled. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. You see? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this bath salt stuff is totally evil, because the word talks about pharmakia. That's the Greek word for pharmacy, and all these drugs they take and mix together and whatever, and it absolutely has effect on the brain and the functions of people. But this guy is demon possessed. I don't have any doubt in my mind. This guy was demon possessed. And here's the thing that most folks won't consider that I've considered. Are you ready? Now, once the police officer shot and killed the demon-possessed guy that was high on drugs, the demons immediately left him and have been searching for another home and have probably already found it. And demons can move fast and quick. So it could be that the Mexican woman that ate the brains of her baby could have been possessed by those same demons. Who knows? Who knows? It may be that we see more and more of this. I don't know. I'm not here to speculate, but I'm simply telling you this comes, all of a sudden this begins to happen. And there could have been earlier reports of it, I don't know, in terms of in the past. But I got to tell you something, this is coming to the forefront for a reason. We don't all understand the